Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Trey. You got my man Bishop. You got Ron, the Speakeasy in the building. And this first formation morning sports talk. What's good with you, brothers? What's going on this morning?
WGO, WGO, what's going on? What's going on? It is Monday morning. I know a lot of people ain't feeling it this Monday, but it is what it is. We got to start the week off somewhere, and it happens to be a Monday. So here it is. And you started it off with us three, first formation, all in. It's time to talk about sports, and we have some things to talk about. Ron, the missing in action, Ron. The one we didn't see
Hold on.
all
Look,
last week,
look,
and
look
now
who
that we
look who the first in the comments.
Yeah,
Look,
look.
you know what?
Oh,
Y'all
you
y'all
knew,
are about to
Hey,
take
what's
you knew,
good?
Key. You
you
knew
know
Key
what?
was gonna
You
be.
know what?
You
You
was
know
gonna
what?
be the first. You
Bishop,
knew,
they about to
you
sit up
knew,
and get that Dallas Cowboys type treatment as when
you
it comes
knew
to
it was coming.
fans.
You knew.
Hey, did you wake up this morning and the birds was chirping, butterflies was flying, the grass was greener than usual?
Oh my goodness. No.
Oh,
Yeah,
how about
y'all knew it was coming, man. Y'all knew him. You knew Ron and Key was gonna be
If
on
anywhere,
here
Ron and Key.
first
If
thing in the morning.
anywhere, Ron and
Key
Key.
tapping
If
her feet right. Key was tapping her feet right before the show.
she
Oh
was
God, I can't wait till they come
dancing all the way to the computer screen or the phone.
on. Yeah,
can't touch
Ron.
this?
Ron.
No, 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 no.
When have hey Trey? When have we ever seen Ron on this early? We ain't never seen Ron.
We ain't seen Ron on many Sundays since NFL stopped. Have we not seen Ron?
Yeah,
He came on.
we
I
seen
thought
Ron on this
I heard.
early.
You know what? When you click into the backstage, you hear the click 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 click.
Yeah, yeah.
When I heard two
You
of
knew
them,
it was
I was like,
Ron.
yeah,
You knew it was Ron. You knew it was Ron.
look,
You knew it was
look at
Ron.
Key.
You thought she been in front of the computer since 7 a.m. Key, stop it. Since 7
Oh,
a.m. this
Key.
morning. Oh my God, she's
So
Key,
looking
you
for
know what?
that
tell
boy.
them don't let us get to the NBA Finals. We gonna act a dang fool. Oh man, y'all
Y'all
remember
working on it.
when the Eagles
Y'all
won the
working
Super
on
Bowl? Everybody was sick. Oh, it's gonna
it.
be
Yeah.
so much worse for the Sixers.
Matter of fact,
Now,
let's let's just get right into it, so that way we can give Ron his moment, the moment this morning to sit up and go on his soliloquy about because of course we did doubt. I'm not gonna lie, I know I did. I just knew it was gonna be a sweep in the first round. I'm not gonna say any names, but it was a couple other people who are diehard fans that thought it was gonna be a sweep in the first round too. But we're not gonna go there. We're just gonna go ahead and get right to it. So of course, as you see up on the stage, I'm currently on the screen in which I can bask in as I stated.
he did.
As
He
I
did.
stated,
Can't knock it. Can't knock it for it. He did.
Nikola Jokic will win his second MVP in as many seasons, um, winning again. But this comes with a slight asterisk, gentlemen, because as I've been watching, as it broke this morning by not Adam Scheffler, by Wojbomb, a lot of people who has been online, especially if you're checking ESPN and the Fox, a lot of people said they voted for Embiid. So is this
Yeah,
deserving?
that's the word on the street.
Is this deserving for Jokic?
That's the
But
word
yet
on the street.
everyone says the same thing as well. Jokic did a lot more with a lot less, and he carried the team, even though Embiid was hot at the beginning of the season. So is he deserving of this?
Good question. And I'm gonna ask first. I know Ron probably gonna give his feel about it. I personally understand where you was coming from. Um, Trey, in regards to he did more with less. However, I still don't feel like he. I don't, in my opinion, I don't know if he was just enough to be the MVP. I don't know. I will say this: it was a close race. It was
Hmm.
definitely a close race between him, Greek Freak, of course, Embiid. Some people may even say job, but um, I'm not upset. I can't say I'm upset. I can't say I'm disappointed. I just say it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it was deserved. So It is what it is.
Ron, did he deserve this award?
I almost don't even want to talk about this topic. It makes me.
Mm.
I feel you, Ron. I feel you.
I hope he enjoys his trophy as he's sitting in Cancun. Well, not Cancun. Where he at in the middle of Europe somewhere.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know where you got Trey that everybody was saying they were voting for Embiid because I watch just about every sports show on ESPN and on Fox, and I can't think of any person that was just putting their smoke out there for Embiid. nobody nobody was giving this man love, which is why he came out on Twitter and you know, he was complaining and crying, talking about everybody hates me. I'm not good enough. What do I have to prove? What do I got to do? All of this before the season even ended. But anybody with common sense would know that they were going to give Nikola Jokic the MVP this year, and there's a lot of reasons why that might be. And I don't even want to get
Mm-hmm.
into those topics today on First Formation. Just shout out, major congrats to the back-to-back great center, not the false MVP, the real MVP, officially, Nikola. Great season, sir.
That part.
No shade.
No shade.
No
No
shade.
shade.
You know, my guy's competing for an NBA championship. We'll try to get the
Right
finals.
now, he's focused on other bigger and better things.
It's just fuel to the fire. It should be so much motivation. Can you how motivated would y'all be if y'all was in MB shoes?
Oh, highly. Oh, you talking about this is one of those instances where oh really? That's how y'all feel? I'm about to show y'all something.
Okay.
I'm about
Right.
to show I'm about to show all you I'm about to put cases on all you. Yeah, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's from.
So
Y'all gonna be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I'm done with you. 24-hour lockdown. Yeah, that's how if I was in me, that's how I would be feeling. My inner Denzel Washington. In my
Exactly.
personal opinion. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a great comparison. And B, get on your Denzel.
you know what?
Watch it. Here he come, Ron. Here he come with this nonsense. Here he come.
You know what?
Here he come. Here he come.
Denzel did do that, but what was the outcome? What was the finishing?
Outcome was outcome
He
was he won an Oscar for that, didn't he?
he
I think
won
the
a
outcome.
Oscar. He did win, but in the movie,
Okay, that was the outcome.
which we're talking about, what was the outcome?
That was the outcome. If you really want to know, if you really want to know,
He
he won an
he
Oscar
did
for
the real official outcome was yes, Denzel Washington won an Oscar for that.
that.
But
Yes.
in the contrast of the movie,
Oh yeah,
he went to
he
jail.
finished last.
Yeah,
He finished last.
true that.
He
True that.
did. He finished last.
I guess tomato. Because I guess it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, he finished
What
last. I
narrative
give you that.
you're putting forth. So, do you know? But I mean, like I said, it was just one of the things when you start looking at it. I would not hold you the simple fact of Embiid did saying a miraculous job. I don't want to. I don't want. I'm hoping that he's not trying to use the Rudy Gobert approach in getting the MVP. Uh, I mean, I mean, everyone can't get it. It was a lot of people that at the end of the day did some stuff that which you would put them in the conversation, and it was just
What up,
when you
JT?
look at it, and I think it was Windhurst this morning that was speaking on it. He's like when you look at the stats and everything that comes down as well, that the advanced stats in Jokic was substantially advanced, more further advanced than B was, and you know what I'm saying. So it's looking at it. It's not just the eye test. It's a comprehensive, I guess, voting process, and people are looking at different things when you're taking, of course, in consideration some of the other facts. and other factors into it outside of just what's going on. A lot of people say that he's just not Embiid. Jokic is just a stat stuffer. Correction, a stat filler, a stat stuffer. But like we said, at the end of the day, he did get his team to uh, um, a playoff where he had less. He was
That
lacking,
part.
and
Man, no. So, how many games did the Pelicans take the Suns?
6 games.
Is the Mavs not 2-2 with the Suns right now?
Correct.
Did the Grizzlies not get taken 7 games? Did
Not
Giannis
Minnesota.
not battle it out without Middleton, his best wingman,
That
and
part.
going at the Celtics right now?
Right, it was
Everybody
that
is
part.
competing, everybody's balling, everybody's showing up without, and a lot of people's missing pieces. The Joker excuses. No, he got the Golden State they didn't get a broom. They got, what's the things they clean the ice hockey rinks with?
The Zamboni.
They
Zamboni,
pulled
that's
out
it,
the
yeah.
Zambroni, a gentleman's sweep, and ran him out of here.
True that. And I completely agree. It could be now if I wanted to play anti-advocate, I could state that it just at that
You
point,
should.
Jokic didn't have any more to give at that point. He was giving all he could. He even you got to think about it because we're talking about a course of an 82 game season over the course of what could potentially be a 20 game tournament. Or less, I'm sorry. So it could be that he didn't have any more to give. He was struggling. And then now you're not just going against the top tier person out of a 4 game week. You could potentially face 3 top tier talent in a week, or maybe 2-1, or 1-3, or none at all, or just all week face them. And that's the difference when you look at it. When it came down to with Golden State, they're basically all week long. You're facing the same people, the same top tier talent in which you face, and there's no break in between. And that could be the difference in why he wasn't able to be able to overcome that as he did in the regular season, which earned him the MVP trophy.
Most valuable.
True that.
I
True
mean,
that.
I'm with Ron. I mean, when you really think about it, out of the people who were candidates for MVP, only one person is not in the playoffs.
And
One person.
the crazy part is I don't even think Embiid was the MVP. I don't think this was his year. I don't think it was
Really?
Joker's. Nah, it
You
was
think it was
Giannis.
Giannis?
Yeah, he
You think
showed
Giannis
it.
should have got it? Yeah,
Right.
I felt heavy about Giannis too. That's how I felt. I really thought Giannis should have been got it.
And maybe that's who we're going to be exactly what Bishop was talking about, and what Ron and Bishop was just stating. Like, oh, so y'all overlooking me. It's all about Embiid when y'all gonna act like I ain't just win 2 back-to-back and was doing my doing damage this season. Maybe that might be the galvanizing situation in which we see Giannis tear through Boston and then go ahead and dispatch whoever comes out of the Philly and Miami to go on to finish off the Western Conference champion. So I don't know. It remains to be seen. We still got some games to see if it's going to even be that. Does Giannis
Yeah,
have that mentality? Yes. So I mean, maybe we're still pulling the wool over our own eyes, and we're completely missing what the left hand is doing. It,
could be.
it remains to be seen, but of course, in any case, as we all have stated, shout out to Jokic. He is currently the MVP, 2 time MVP. Second, we've seen it again. We've seen it with Steph. We've seen it with we just saw it with Giannis, as stated, and now we see it with Jokic. We definitely don't think it's a participation award. From what we're
No,
saying, if what we're talking about, it's a hard award to covet at the end of the day, and only one person can do it, no matter what you do in the season. So, but it'd be, saying
let me
Giannis,
ask y'all
saying
this: do y'all think it's? I'm gonna ask both of y'all this, excuse me, and anybody that's watching. Do y'all think that the MVP award should be um, given later instead of sooner?
so. I think we've talked
Do
about
y'all
this
feel like
before.
it should be it should wait maybe to the end of the playoffs? Because we know you get it. We know there's a play or a finals MVP. So of course we would want it before that. But do y'all feel like we should wait until after the playoffs to see who the MVP is?
So I think we discussed this before, and Ron had made a good notion, and when you come down to it, is that it's over the 82 game season, and it makes
Mm-hmm.
sense to sit up and have it. It doesn't make any sense. Well, not it doesn't make sense, but how they do it now is actually makes sense because it's the regular season. That's in the fact of
So
who
what's the
played all. Who's played or who's had the opportunity to play 82 games, in which that affords every team in the NBA to play 82 games, on all the players to play 82 games. If we sit up and push it and attribute what the player who's in the playoffs are doing, then now we basically eliminate possibly other players because they're no longer there. Like LeBron James could be playing for the Lakers and they only could win 25 games. Well, LeBron over the course of the 82 games in which they played, LeBron could just been balling out. So
right?
now you eliminate him, and when you have other players, like you said, if they wait till later in the season to do it, now you basically take their stuff into consideration. LeBron can't be taken consideration because he's out unless he just did that much damage prior to. So I think in this asset, because I used to be like, what you talk about, Bishop? I used to be on that, like, yeah, let's wait. You know what I'm saying? All this is going
Mm-hmm.
on. There's still stuff going on. But when Ron made that when he brought that up, I was like, you know what? He's right. That makes completely sense. To have it to continue to conduct it to have a regular season award at the end of the day in
Okay.
all aspects of sports. I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's complicated. This is Steve Nash winning the award over Kobe.
Mm. Now, do y'all think there should be as opposed to a Finals MVP award? Should there be a playoff, a postseason award, postseason MVP in general?
A postseason MVP.
Yeah,
I
i.e.
think
The
so.
playoffs.
Appreciate you, JD. A postseason MVP. So that's interesting because what's the most games you play? What 30 something games in post?
You need
What
16 to
if
win,
say
so
if you
you can
play
play
all play you say you play all seven in all three? You know what I'm saying? All what 3 rounds?
28. You play 28 games if
About
you
30
go
games.
seven.
Yeah, yeah. So about 30 games, right? So hell, why not? The NBA got all this money. Why not? Yeah, I say yeah. Why not? Why not?
Because
Why not?
usually, so how many? I see where Key says that's what the finals for, but how many times have you seen it to where a finals MVP has been someone that just did something in their finals round, not for not for the whole MVP season. I mean, the whole postseason, just for the finals game, i.e., Andre Iguodala. Let's not act like he was showing out the whole postseason that year. He just happened to
Mm-hmm.
do damage that series, in which earned him the MVP.
Right. Now I will say this. I don't agree with you, Key, on that. I feel like that the finals should have its own MVP. In my opinion, I feel like because in the finals, you know, at that point, you know, it's balls to the wall. It's all or nothing. So I feel like the finals should keep its finals MVP and be what it is because 9 times out of 10 you're now on that last leg of the season and you're trying to do whatever it is to get the win to be champions of the NBA. So
So
I feel like
Key, oh, go ahead. We should.
what if they don't make? That's
Yes,
why that's why he said it's
it's a
that's why he said post.
yeah. It's the same. It still continue the same thing. So if they don't make the
Right.
finals, it's no different than a regular season MVP. Which
Right.
if they don't, so
Yeah.
it's the same.
Right.
It's the same premise.
Just
Just
like Joker
but
winning right now. He didn't make the
yeah.
playoffs, but he still won.
But like Ron said, it could be complicated in any case. So, but you know,
Or
Yeah.
he
saying
made the playoffs but got swept. I'm sorry, he made the playoffs but they got swept.
And when you think about the fact that they've been doing it for 75 years, it's
yeah,
just like, I guess it
true that.
is what it is.
Nothing wrong with evolution always. So
But
another
Right.
real quick, do
yes,
y'all?
sir.
So everybody hated the process. Do y'all think the NBA was tampering in this MVP because they didn't want to validate Sam Hinkie and what the Sixers did?
So I no, I don't. I don't think that pettiness is ensuing. At the end of the day, the process is the you'll say exactly that. Like no one, no, a lot of people, even
Trust the
in all
process.
aspects, even in our own organization, in which we are part of a military Greek letter organization. The term process, in which I would be on here on record saying I utilize it plenty of times, in which now it has become a term in which no one likes. No one likes the term
Yeah.
process, and that's exactly
Trust
what it
the
is.
process.
But
Yes.
that's what sometimes the process is what gets you. At this point, the process is what has gotten Philadelphia. What? How many years later we talking about? 7, 8 years later has
Right.
gotten them 7, 8 years later is the process is which Sam Hinkley, for the most part, put forth is what has gotten them to where they are able over the last 3 years able to compete at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And whether it's talking about because the only person that's still there in the process in front of the process is
Embiid.
Embiid. But you know what I'm saying? But we're not gonna act like the other individuals in which they accumulated during the process has not allowed them the opportunity to bring in assets from that. So the process is exactly what it is, and I mean, it's a
It worked.
process. Yes, it does. It works. So I don't think you know what I'm saying. And then we're not going to act like other people are having years of process in their own ways and rights. So I that's why I don't think it's a retaliation effort. I just think it's a fact of when it's some other things that was taken into consideration, and it may make MB feel a certain type of way, but that's what happens when I mean it's been plenty of times I've been passed over for jobs in which and my initial thought was, oh, this is what happened. But when I sat down and thought about it, I had to take in consideration and be real with myself and said that person just probably was better than me, and that's the end state.
Hmm.
Yikes.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I'm not valuable. It just mean they was more valuable than me at the time, and it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen if they are that more valuable than me. So that's just what I look at how I deem it. So speaking of processes, value, and all that stuff, what do you think of Mike Brown, now the current head coach for the Sacramento Kings, on his third time around? What do you see the value in that? Does he make some noise in Sacramento?
I saw that yesterday. I don't know, bro. I don't know if he's gonna be. I don't know who said again. We told again who does Sacramento have?
Yeah, I mean, De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis is
Good
their
people.
top two. Yeah, I mean, they're yeah. Sabonis ain't no slouch. So I mean, and of course, De'Aaron Fox has a particular skill set. So and then we of course, I'm very sure they're gonna pick up a couple of more pieces. So Michael Brown being a tactician of defenses.
Hmm.
So uh, you know me,
We'll see.
you know
I don't
me.
know. The
Being
jury's still
Sacramento
out on
means
that
he's
one.
in California, so you know what I'm saying there's no room for more than the Lakers in California, in my opinion. So
Oh my God! Here we go.
technically, we have to share Golden State. I mean, with the Warriors. So, but as far as the other two,
Yeah.
so another point. Let's talk about
Hmm.
this. The fans are the
Oh,
fans
we
the
oh
new
we
problem.
talked about this. Haven't we spoke about this
Are the
previously?
fans the new problem, or
Out of
is it
line.
does it go back to what we saying is chill? Again, it comes up different when it's in your wheelhouse. Of course, your mom and your wife
Your
and the
immediate
kids
family.
being in a situation, all that type of stuff is it adds a little something to it. But what you know, what I'm saying is it? Do we still have the same rhetoric of um, grow thicker skins? And you know, what I'm saying it's a part of it's a part of the part of the process in this case. Or now does the rhetoric change? Like some need to what can we do? What is it can be done about the fans at the end of the day?
Nothing. All you can do is ban them. There's nothing else you can do.
Is
You
there
don't know
is
when
there anything, Ron? Anything
you don't know when
proactive?
a fan is going to act out.
Yeah,
You
true
have
that.
no idea when the fan is going to do what they do. So therefore, there's really no more than what you can do is excuse me outside of the fact that you can ban them for life. Stop them from attending any future games. That's all you can do.
Ron, anything proactive you think could be done to eliminate the fans or this situation problem with the fans? Because it's all reactive at this point.
Yeah, no, not really. Mm, the fans is all right. They're fine. It's fine.
You know what?
They they
Go
pay
ahead,
the
Ron. Go ahead, Ron. Listen, I was about to say, Ron seems like one. He's probably one of those fans. They talk about like, no, you're not going to eliminate my opportunity to sit up and get the next star thrown out. I can see Ron as one of those hecklers too.
major heckler.
He said major heckler.
He has that look of like that
He
mystique
do, he do, he do like
of
that
a
dude on the
heckler.
side.
Like
Yeah,
if there was a heckling union, Ron would be the president.
he looks like
President
Mr.
of the
X.
union. I agree.
So to get into this, so we can allow Ron to basically do what exactly he needs to do. Of course, over the course of the weekend, there were a bevy of games, 6 games to be exact, in which two of them 6 games was played additionally by teams because of their series. So of course, taking the trip back in the time machine, we'll go back to Friday as the Dallas Mavericks were able to notch a win versus the Phoenix Suns, winning 103-94. Uh, as Brunson dropped 28 points at home to dismiss all the struggles which he had. Of course, during that same day, the Philadelphia 76ers were able to get their first win as the man in the black mask, Joel Embiid, made an appearance out of nowhere, in which by chance 76ers may be facing some fines due to the fact of erroneous reporting on their injury report. But in any case, Embiid was able to pull up to the arena, helped to get a 20-point dub to avoid a 3-0 deficit versus the Miami Heat. Of course, continue on to Saturday, the Milwaukee squeaked past the Boston Celtics with a 103-101 win as Horford Al Horford turned back the hands of time in the clock in which he dropped 28, and not to omit the fact that he missed the game tying layup by tenths of a second as they were not able to beat Giannis. 42-point outing while Milwaukee took the 2-1 lead. Golden State, of course, came back um, and they take a 2-1 lead as they were able to beat Milwaukee with a 30-point thrashing, 142-112, in which it was a game in which Ja Morant left the game with a knee injury, in which was very controversial play, in which I'm very sure we're gonna get into when we get to after Sundays, in which he was supposedly, allegedly, um, Jordan Poole made a play for his knee, pulling it during the while they were scrambling for a ball, and he ended up leaving with 6 minutes left in the game. At that point, I was really sure the game was out of control or was going towards that point. We're not going to say that 6 minutes erupted into a 30-point drubbing. And then, of course, lastly, coming back around the bend, last night, Dallas Mavericks took on the Phoenix Suns yet again, and it just you can see it wasn't too inviting as the Suns were able to tie the series with a 2-2 series record, guaranteeing a game 6 to be played in Dallas again. Of course, Chris Paul fouled out early in the fourth or midway through the fourth as the Suns were go down 101-111. The Suns led by Devin Booker's 35 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 11 points from Cameron Johnson, 15 points from Jay Crowder, 6 rebounds and 1 assist, 14 points, 11 rebounds from DeAndre Ayton. The Mavericks was led by Luka Doncic, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist from Dorian Smith as he scorched the nets while shooting 8 for 3 from the 3 point. 12 Davis Bertrand's 12 points, 1 rebound, 10 points from Spencer Dinwiddie, 11 points from Maxi Kleber. Uh, it was they showed up, gentlemen. What do you think about? Matter of fact, hold up. Let's go to the next game, and then we'll just cover them all at one time, because I know there's plenty to be said. And then, of course, we have to allow Ron to get his swerve on as the 76ers were able to complete the same feat, coming back from a 0-2 deficit, now tied up with a 2-2 score. Philly able to dispatch the Miami Heat 116 to 108. Jimmy Butler dropped 40 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 21 points from Bam, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Double double effort from Tyler Hero, 11 and 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 15 points from Victor Oladipo. Uh, Kyle Lowry had to leave early as he re-aggravated his hamstring before scoring 6 points, 3 rebounds, 7 to 6 assists. But of course, Embiid 24 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 10 points from George Nan, the 2 rebounds. Tobias Harris makes his appearance, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 11 points. Another appearance, Danny Green, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Joel, like you said, with the 24-20, Maxi, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. But of course, the man of the hour, where has he been all of the season? Well, since he arrived in Philadelphia, James Harden turns back the hands of time, 31 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, making his appearance and helping Philadelphia get the dub. Ron, what have you to say for Philly's output yesterday?
Oh wow. I need to go get some Philly gear. Whole screen. You know, it like I said before we started, it's rough sometimes being the everybody doubts us team. We get a lot of those in sports, and they're usually the funnest teams. Is the one that no one sees coming, the one is that everybody doubts. The Sixers weren't even supposed to make it past Toronto. Nobody was predicting the Sixers to do anything. And to see them, this mental fortitude band together over all of the trials and the adversity, it's inspiring. And this is exactly what Philly sports do. James Harden has been shamed and drugged by everybody. And to show up and just have one moment, he's getting old. It's natural process. We see great stories like Chris Paul and LeBron James. These naturally are going to digress, body slow down, but to show that you can still get it done for, a game, 2 games, and that's all he's needed. That's the beautiful thing is he doesn't have to be Houston Rocket James Harden. You just got to give us a glimpse of it. And that's exactly what he's been able to do. And it's amazing watching the chemistry build. This team was just formed and put together a couple weeks ago. And it's a sweep. And it's a sweep. We saw what they did to Toronto. Just completely embarrassed them boys in the first 3 games. I'm positive they started celebrating way too early. James Harden went to the strip club that night after game 3 when FB hit that shot. And it took them boys, okay, let's stay focused. And I hope they still have a lot of work to do. It's 2-2. Joker got the MVP. Should be flamed to the motivation. Get in the gym. Keep working. Keep building. Because we got a whole long run to put together. And the crazy part is the Sixers is probably the most healthiest and well put together squad. Embiid's face, our best player, got rocked. But as long as he stays all right and his hand is okay and no more injuries come, why not the Sixers? It smells like a championship to me. The Bucks is limped. The Heat is limp. Jimmy Butler is going to have knee issues. He's not going to be able to be healthy this whole series. Kyle Lowry's already out. The Celtics is struggling with injuries. The Suns, let's keep an eye on Devin Booker. I guess Golden State is the only team that's completely healthy and still all together as well. And the Mavs. But, it's a beautiful morning.
So, gentlemen, of course, taking into consideration the whole weekend, what they'll say, what jumps at you the most? It's a simple fact of every team was I mean, of course, in the Philly and the Maverick
The
series,
fact that
they were able.
there's no sweep coming.
Yeah, that's done. Well, there's still potential a gentleman sweep as you got the 2-1 seat one still with
There's not even going
Milwaukee.
to be a gentleman sweep.
You think they're going to
There's
get
no
their dub
gentleman
too?
sweep. Yeah, Milwaukee's going to get theirs tonight. There's no gentleman sweep happening going to happen. There's not going to be a gentleman sweep with the rest of this thing.
So you saying
They're going down.
it's going 7 games?
All series.
Likely, this might be the first time in NBA history, I think, that all games end up going 7 games, a 7 game series.
Mm. What
Yeah,
is interesting in
I
that?
feel like the Sixers. Yeah, the Heat have given the Sixers the momentum back, and that's the worst thing they could have done. That's the worst thing they could have allowed was allow the 76ers to regain the momentum, and they've done that.
How does
They've
Miami
done
win
that.
another game? It just
So I was about to say. So I think how Miami was another game is one person we have not seen since he went 9 for 10 from downtown in the series versus the
That
Atlanta
dude.
Hawks is Duncan Robinson. So I don't know why he's being held out, but you ain't seen him yet.
Yeah,
And so
yeah. This
I
whole
think
game is
that's
the
a
only game.
that's all
I
like
take that
pulling out
back.
the secret weapon.
The only game. I take that back. The only game that has a possibility of a gentleman's sweep is the Grizzlies Warriors game because Ja is out. They're about to play tonight um, in Golden State. 9 times out of 10, Golden State's gonna win that game. That's 3-1. That's a 3-1 series lead. That's the possible gentleman's sweep right there. Other than that, all the rest of them definitely going seven.
So I'm very sure I know the answer to this question, but let's just play this out question out anyway. We're not gonna act like Memphis didn't go 22-4 without Ja Morant.
That's what I already stated that all of them was going seven, but I said
Okay,
there's a possibility.
that's the greater
There's a
possibility. Okay,
possibility because it is a great because we're talking about they did what they did without Ja, but they didn't do what they did without Ja against Golden State.
true
This is
that.
Golden
What's
State,
good?
a
What's
whole
good?
different team.
Gal Thomas Gal. What's good,
Thomas,
Thomas?
there he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Champs is here. We see you, Thomas. Yeah, not saying that the Grizzlies can't play without Ja because we have seen them
Mm-hmm.
do it. However,
It
they
might be.
haven't
It
done
might
it
be a
this
little.
season.
They might be a little
Yes,
hard this time around because
yeah,
it's almost. It's
worse.
like Golden State is on some Voltron type stuff right now,
That
and
part,
they and
that
they
part,
they leaking up, and it's like it's a problem. So
that part. Yeah,
Golden State always had a tendency to ruin and injure our great players, from Kawhi to the recent Ja Morant. I'm positive Draymond Green taught Jordan Poole that move right there. Without a doubt.
is
So
hey Ron what is this? You just said his name
Draymond, Jordan Poole.
Draymond Green. Is he the bad boy of this era?
Without a doubt. Which is
He
why
the bad boy of this.
he gets thrown out of games. He gets ejected.
That's why I say that. That's why I
right.
say that. Yeah,
And
that's why I
Warriors
say
want to
that.
feel bad about what happened with him and LeBron and him getting tossed out of Game 5 and this, that, and the fourth. It's like just the other day, Draymond grabbed he clawed a man on the basketball court and yanked him. That's not a basketball move. And we all play a lot of basketball. I've never once. I really sat and thought about. I was like, have I ever just like grabbed somebody's knee or their ankle and like as I was playing defense, no matter how much they was kicking me, like that's
even the kick in the groin.
He's a habitual
Even
line
the
stepper.
kick in the groin. Whatchamacallit, who was it? Stephen A. Smith tried to come to his defense in regards to the kick in the groin last year or a couple of years ago when he went up the so-called try to take a shot and he kicked what was it, Jokic? Some in the groin area. Remember he went up for the shot and kicked his leg went through his leg and kicked him all in his private parts or whatever.
Yeah,
that's a straight bad boy move. That's some bad boy stuff. If you've never watched the
In
Bad
my
Boys,
opinion,
go watch the Bad Boys from the Detroit Pistons from back in the '80s. That's bad boy moves right there, bro.
Draymond Green and Jay Crowder are habitual line
Will Smith
are
and Martin
they're
Lawrence.
they're they're habitual line steppers.
Bad boy for life.
Bad boys for life.
Man, I'm telling
Draymond
you, bro.
Green and Jay Crowder.
Bad
They
boys for
started to
life.
they started they started to do that. So yeah, so back to what Ron was just talking about. Was that a dirty move or did it like if y'all caught first take or not first take, get up this morning as from as they talked about, unless he was Maxwell Smart or 007 James Bond, and he had a little hammer that he was able to use and dispatch a quick hit and cause an injury. There shouldn't have been a reason for it to say that was an injury. From what they're saying, it's like it just happened to be a bang bang play. What's good, Adana? How you doing this morning?
What up,
Uh,
Ladonna? How you doing?
I don't know at this point. At first, I looked at it. I was like, did it look like he really tried to grab his knee, or was it just happened his knee was in the vicinity of his hand when he was trying to and he just was falling back and he tried to grab something to hold on to? Like, what do you think about the play from the aspect of how y'all seen it?
I didn't see the play, so I really don't know. To be honest with you, I didn't see it at all. I mean, I missed it. I would hope that no one's actually, you know what I'm saying, um,
Grabbing at the knee.
well, faking the injury, if it's, in other words, I guess, because
So
that's what it sounds like.
in a case like you can see like he grasped at the knee and kind of like maybe pulled it like popped it a little bit, but I don't think it was intentional. Okay, so everyone's going off and saying he grabbed the knee. I don't think it was intentional.
Hmm. I don't know.
I
That's
give
a
him the
good question.
benefit of the doubt.
Doubt, yeah, I would give him that too. The benefit of the doubt, for sure.
But of course, moving back to the last night's game, James Harden. As they before we jumped on, we had at least two or three of us were saying that James Harden is back. One of us does not
Hmm.
believe James Harden is back in any case, form, of
It
matter.
ain't one of us.
It was
You.
just,
It ain't one of us. It's you. It's you.
it
It
was
ain't
me.
one of us. It's you.
I
It was
I am
me.
I am one of us. I am one of us.
Yeah, you are one of us. Yeah, it's
I am one of us that does not believe that
you.
James Harden was back. It was just a situation in which he had a good game. It was made from so I don't know if I mean James, you can prove me wrong. You the homie, but you know what I'm saying? It was just that I don't know if it was a situation in which James is back. I know what we want to believe, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in fairy tales though.
Mhm.
I don't think
You don't
James is
believe in
back.
fairy.
No, I don't believe in fairy tales.
So you
Freddy
think it was a
Krueger.
fluke? You think he was
No,
a one
so I
game
don't think it
wonder,
was the fluke.
one game and then done?
I just think he's not going to have that
It
type
looked
of
like
output
I'm
again.
gonna be honest. It looked like the James of old. It looked like the Houston James Harden. What we
So
just spoke
what we
about on Friday that we hadn't
yeah, he
seen
needs to be
since
more. Yeah, he needs to be
whenever.
aggressive. And he said that. He's like he stated. He said, "I'm not. It's nothing. You know, what I'm saying this is what's expected of me. I just had to be aggressive." And he was that. But I don't know. I mean, why now? You know, what I'm saying why now?
What do you mean?
They
What
was
now?
they
What?
was facing.
What?
They was looking up. They was looking at being eliminated last round, and we didn't see this
So why?
James. So
So
why? So not why now?
in now perfect? Isn't now the time? Like when is a better time to do it? Like no, let's wait to game
Okay, okay,
four or game
okay.
three
I
or
retract my
game
statement.
whatever.
I retract
Like
my statement.
his time is now. He has no choice but to do it now. In my opinion,
No,
it was now or never. Ron, this
thank you,
your
Ladonna.
spot. What now or never? Was it now or never for James? I know MB was probably like, dude, when you gonna show up? Like, damn, you done brought your behind over here to us and you ain't doing nothing. Like, I
Like
need
I'm
you to
out.
do
We
something.
brought you here for especially for this, and I'm out, and you in the
Yeah,
game,
like
but you
you
still
out
out.
there, but you ain't doing nothing. Like, I need you to do something, bro. Like, let me. Can I recover from this? My eye socket. Can I recover from this concussion? I need you to do something for me, bro. Help me, help you. But what do I need to do? The most I can do right now is encourage you. But other than that, I need you to do the rest. So I don't know, bro. I don't know what you want me. I don't know what you want from me.
Just one now.
What
Why
I don't
now,
know
man?
what more you want more from me. Should I say
He needs but exactly that. Like you said, what more do you want from her? I wanted this a couple of games ago. That's what I wanted.
that
If that's
part?
what it is. If I was the Philadelphia Sixers fan, that's what I want. Because like Key said, she agreed with you because that's her squad. So it's like, why wait? Why wait until game 4 or you know what I'm saying game 4 to give us a 31 point outing when we didn't want to be faced with all this outcome and stuff like that. Like, why wait until now? Or we trying to make it a
Right.
dramatic appearance, or like what is it? Like, I just wonder why now, James. Go back to where you were, James.
I left. It was James Harden. Back,
That's
and I'm right back to James.
what you would like to do.
Go back. We don't want you, James. Go back to where you were. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see a game. Well, I'm not gonna say. I'm not
I
gonna give them that yet. Does it go 7? We
know
think
that's what
7
Trey would like for him to do. He trade that.
for him to do what now? What'd you say, Bishop? I like to see him what?
No, I was just saying that's what you feel like James was one hit wonder. You want him to you feel like that what he did last night we won't see again in this series.
Nah, not getting the series. Maybe
See?
maybe Maxi. We might see it again from Tobias again before we see it from James again.
Wow. Wow. What do you say about that, Ron? What do you say about Trey talking about your boys like that, bro?
I don't see how Miami Heat wins another game. Um, I think you can. I think you can put. I think you can put a fork in them. There's no
They're
way.
done?
There's no way they should have let Philly win both of these games and
I agree to that.
take back home court advantage. Pretty much. I mean, they still got it, but like
But
they
they
got.
don't got it. You right. They don't got it.
And it got me thinking about our Duncan Robinson problem and why he's not playing because
He can't guard nobody.
barbecue chicken.
He's
No,
one dimensional.
Barbecue chicken alert.
and he's going.
Barbecue chicken alert. As
He's gonna
Shaq
have,
loves to say, barbecue chicken alert.
yeah, he's gonna have to play the 4, and B is going to put barbecue sauce all on him, and it's game over. And who the Miami Heat got to guard the perimeter outside of Jimmy Buckets? Nobody.
Good question, bro.
So Jimmy Butler, his main assignment is going to be, Maxey or James Harden. And it comes down to the Miami Heat. Who are they going to be focused on making sure don't have a big game? If they're making Jimmy prioritize Maxey, then we will see another great game from James Harden. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to see it regardless because the Heat's defense is crumbled within.
Mm.
They.
I kind of agree with Ron, man. I feel like I said it earlier. I don't know how he allows the Sixers to come back into the series and give them all the momentum. That is beyond me. That just doesn't make sense how you allow that to happen. I'm not saying they did it on purpose, but you really screwed yourself.
I think what happens is it's going to be a stand up moment from. I foresee, and this is how I foresee how if I had a crystal ball, this is how I would foresee the Heat getting back into this and making it to where they go on to the conference championship. Tyler Hero is exactly who we thought he is, so he's going to get his at some point. Additionally, what's going to happen is Victor Oladipo is still a problem. PJ Tucker is still a potential problem, and then Duncan Robinson, who just like Dallas, they held his inefficiencies. They're going to find a way to get him on the court. Eric Spoelstra is going to have to, or they have no shooting. outside of Jimmy buckets.
How is PJ Tucker a problem, sir?
He's defensively.
You know
He's
how
going.
he
He's going to
is?
have to stand up. Yeah, I understand that. But how tall was Charles Barkley?
That's a big comparison now.
How tall was Magic Johnson when he won? He scored 42 points and 7 rebounds and won his first NBA championship as a rookie, and he
Bishop,
played the center.
PJ
You
Tucker, man.
already know. Come on, you already know. Yeah, you already know. You already know, Ron. He gonna throw that in there. You got to find a way to throw
So I'm just
something
saying,
in
like,
regard to
basically
Lakers
what I'm
in there.
saying
You
is
knew that was coming.
we're not gonna act like the small ball is not a thing, and it's been a thing even way back then. It's just reemerged and is more prevalent now. So I get it. Like honestly, you gotta think we're going to positionless basketball at some point, but of course you can teach height and but heart you can't be taught either. And if someone has it or hasn't, I'm just thinking that's what's going to happen. Like I think a heart of a couple of players is going to be on center stage, and it's going to be a fact of someone's going to take someone else's will. And I just foresee Miami be having more of that in them to where they're going to snatch a will or two, as opposed to Philadelphia. I don't think they got that type of dog in them. The city may have that type of dog in them. I don't know if the team does.
Wow. We're still getting
Yeah,
down to this.
yeah. Still being done, huh? Can't get
All
no.
my life.
As Rodney Dangerfield, you can't get no respect. Can't get no respect, huh?
That's what Embiid said. What do I got to do? What do I got to do to impress y'all?
And you know what? You know what? This is what I would tell you. Because at this point, I'm rocking with whoever wins. Actually, I'm looking at more so Golden State winning the championship. But I would tell you this. I would say this
Ooh.
right here. If Philadelphia gets to Eastern Conference Finals, I'm cheering them all the way with you, Ron. Philly, stand up. If they get to the Eastern Conference Finals,
Ooh.
then I'm Team Philly for the NBA championship.
Giannis versus Embiid.
Ooh.
Real battle for MVP.
Giannis, ooh, that would be a battle right there, boy. Ooh.
So
Ooh,
if
the
Philly can get
battle of the
past
Twin Towers, bro.
if Philly can get past Miami, then I'm Team Philly the rest of the postseason.
No, you need to make that decision
I'm
right
gonna
now.
put this. I'm with you.
Already-
I'm
Don't
saying
worry.
that
Don't worry, Keith.
if they
I
if
got
they
this.
if they
Keith,
if
don't
they
worry about it. I got it, Keith. I got it, Keith. Don't worry about it. Someone
if
put
they
this. I got this, Keith. Don't worry.
if if
I'm right
they
here. Don't worry.
if they
He said it at
if
9:55
Philly could get past Miami, I'm Team Philly the rest of the
on the 9th.
postseason.
9:55 on the 9th of May. He said,
I'm rocking
"I
hard with
got it."
Embiid, Harden, Maxey, all they got
So
to
that
do is
means,
win.
hey, so
All they
Ron,
got to
that
do is win
means
two.
if Philly make it past the Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks make it past the Celtics, that means we expect Trey to pick the Sixers
To win
throughout
the
the series when that series comes up.
Yep.
I mean, I'm
All
gonna
right.
do. I would still do what you say. What diligently
Oh,
we
here
do.
we go now.
No,
There
no.
you go,
Because I'm saying,
skating. There you go,
if
skating.
I see up and see
There
that
you
there's
go,
a potential
skating.
if I see a potential mismatch or something like that, and we recognize it, then I'm going to pick who I think is going to win the
Here
game.
we
But what I'm
go.
saying is, in the lay of it, I'm going to still believe that Philly has a chance to win the championship. I'm still, even though I'm going to be like a true Philly fan, even though this dark, the refrigerator door is shut, the eggs are cooling, the jello's shaking, the butter's getting hard, I'm still going to be
Right.
rocking with
What
Philly
he's
at
doing right
that.
now is he's hearing about an incredible party that's about to go down. Hearing all the reactions about what's going to be going down at the club. And he's like, okay, well, I don't want to be there, but, if Drake or it's gonna be, if they going to have the if the ladies out and about, I may just so happen to come. However, I still don't believe y'all gonna be able to put this party together.
Basically.
Making sure you got your
that part. That
oh,
part.
you can come to the parade, Trey, if that's what you're asking.
At this point, I don't think it's going to be a parade, but come
Uh-oh.
6 games, come 2 more games from now, if Philly's victorious, then I'm all trying to get to the parade. I'm gonna watch it live. I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna watch it on stream. I go find the Philly channel on my stream and go and watch it like and shed a tear even when Joel Embiid is holding up that trophy, that Larry O'Brien trophy. If
Mm-hmm.
if
If
if until then,
if
let's go Golden State.
you know what they say, if it was a fifth, we all be drunk.
And I don't even drink, so that's even more. So okay.
Well, fellas, that was a great way to end it for me. I gotta
Yes,
go.
sir.
All right.
Enjoy
Yeah,
that clock in,
appreciate you,
bro.
Ron.
Take care of you.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
I'm
yeah. I'm on nothing about it.
Yeah.
All right.
So, of course, we're gonna say that we have tonight's games. Of course, we have two games that's slated for tonight. Of course, the rest of this as the series continues to ensue. We have who's playing tonight? Memphis.
The Greens, and then Memphis and Golden State.
Of course. So, what do you foresee coming out? Do you think it's
I already
another
told you, bro. I feel like it's I gotta go with
everybody?
fear to dare. Giannis and them tonight at home on their court. I feel like Giannis and them gonna get that dub versus Boston at home. Boom. I think it's gonna be too much. I don't know if Middleton. Have they say? Do we have a
They
word
still
on
haven't. No,
Middleton yet?
they still have. He's still expected to be out.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I still feel like Giannis is gonna bounce back and get this dub for them tonight on their own home court. So I'm definitely going with the yeah the
If they win, they go up 3-1. Do you think if Milwaukee gets a 3-1 lead, it's over, or do you think Boston will
Oh
still
yeah,
have
if
it
they
for?
yeah if Milwaukee gets a 3-1 lead, yeah, it's over. I don't think Boston can bounce back from a 3-1 deficit.
Same thing for Grizzlies and Warriors, or
Yeah. I'm picking the Warriors for that game. I don't
yeah.
think, like you said, I do understand that the Grizzlies have been able to play good ball without Ja. However, the question at hand is, you know, can they do it without Ja? And I don't know if they can do that tonight because in this series, Ja has been an instrumental piece in getting them, that win in which they got versus excuse me, versus the Warriors, and it was a close win at that. You know what I'm saying? It was a close win. So now Ja's points are not going to be on the board for the night. I think it's going to be tough for Memphis to get a win in Golden State at that on Golden State's board. So yeah, I'm definitely taking the Warriors.
Oh yeah, back on. Oh, yeah, so it's without Ja, it might be over. But I mean, everyone like I said, they do have that heart in which we was just talking about. So of course, uh, good morning, Dale. How you doing this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you know what? We're so sorry. Of course, as we know, yesterday was Mother's Day, so we wanted to
That
be on
part.
here. Be the first to wish all those mothers out there from yesterday. We wasn't able to speak on it. We forgot about it Friday, but we're here today. Never too late. Happy Mother's Day to y'all lovely ladies from the First Formation Morning Sports Talk. Hope y'all enjoyed yourselves and made it a great one. That special day is always a mother, but of course that special day for y'all in that case. So,
Yes, happy
but
Mother's Day, belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hopefully y'all enjoyed y'all's day or weekend yesterday.
breakfast in bed, Key. That's what you got. Breakfast in bed.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's good, kid. That's what's up.
But yeah, so yeah, it's looking unfortunate. It's probably a wrap for them. But it remains to be seen. So yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So on to our beloved sport, Bishop. It's time. It's
Hey, let's not.
ticking. We
Before we go there, let's
Oh yeah,
talk
wait,
about
wait,
this.
hold up. Yeah, hold
Yeah,
up. I
let's
think
talk
I know
about
what you're
this.
about to
Let's
say.
talk about this because we
I
got
meant to
some
talk to you.
WNBA. Like you stated
Yes,
on last week,
yeah.
WNBA. It's in the game. They
Let's go,
started off their
ladies.
season
Let's
on
go,
Friday
ladies.
night.
Yes,
Friday
let's
night
talk
they
about it.
started their
What you
season.
got? What you got? Hit me off. Let
So
me go.
we know.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, so we do know the Washington. I think it's called the Washington Mystics, right? versus the
yes, the
Detroit
Minnesota
Lynx,
Lynx,
Minnesota
Minnesota
Lynx.
Lynx. Yes.
Defeated the Lynx. Mystics defeated the Lynx 78 to 66. Mystics defeated with cloud in the forecast because she had 19 points in the first half. They could not stop her. However, they ended up stopping her because she ended up with those same 19 points
Oh,
in
put
the
a
game.
clamp on
However,
her.
yeah, they clamped her down on the second half, but she did end up with 19.6 boards, 6 assists. Shakira Austin had 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 13 points. She had a double double. Ariel Atkins had 20 points. She was the leading scorer for the Mystics with 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Then you had Maisha Hines Allen with 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 11 points. Shatoa Walker Kimbrough had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 10 points. They're rounding out 5 players in double digits. As for the Mystics and for the Lynx, we had Sylvia Foles, 13 points, 8 rebounds.
Still doing her
We
thing.
had Jessica Shepard, 16 points, 12 boards, 4 assists, and she was the leading scorer for the Lynx. And then we had Odyssey Sims, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and then we had Yvonne Turner, 11 points, 3 rebounds, three rebounds, 3 assists as they fall to the Mystics, 78 to 66. Did you happen to catch any of the games of the WNBA this
So the
weekend?
only I from this weekend I did not, due to the fact I was out of town. So it was
Okay,
like
that's
it
right.
wasn't
You
the
had
mo-
using
yeah,
Keisha.
yeah. So but what I will say is I didn't get a chance to catch the game, but as Key said, let's go Trey. We are 2-0. If saying that, Key is talking about them LA Sparks, as we are currently
You
2
know
and
what?
0. You know
That's
what I'm
fine.
saying? It's early, but you know what I'm saying, we can talk about that. You know what? In all actuality, and I like the Aces too. I like the Aces too. Maybe I don't know what you're going to be doing next month, Bishop. Bishop, but you maybe you can catch a Las Vegas Aces game and
They
show
play.
show.
Yeah, I'll be out there next. Yeah, I'll be out there next month. So yeah, if they play, I might have. We might have to go to that one.
Will Sid be there?
No, she won't be with me. No, she
Okay,
won't
I was
be.
about to say take yeah make that.
It's a bachelor party for
Okay,
one of
okay,
my
oh,
boys.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Word, say word. Okay, that's what's up. So
But
yeah,
we'll
so
talk about these Sparks. They defeated the who did they defeat? They defeated
let's
the
go, Liz
Indiana
Cambage.
Fever.
Welcome to
Yeah.
LA. Welcome to LA.
Is she the rookie
No, not
or she
Liz.
got
No,
traded? She got
yeah, she
traded,
got
right?
traded. She got traded
Yeah,
there.
that's the
Yeah.
one that played. Liz Cambage had 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 22 points to lead the Sparks over the Indiana Fever, 87 to 77. I don't know. I don't even know how you say her. Nika
Agumake.
Agumai. Yeah,
Agumake.
that. Yeah. 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 13 points. Brittany Sykes had 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and Jordan Canada had 10 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists. And for the Fever, who came up short yesterday, uh, Nalissa Smith had 13 points, 9 rebounds, 1 rebound away from a double double. Kelsey Mitchell had 15 points, 1 rebound, 7 assists. Destani Henderson had 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And Elena Smith had 10 points, 3 rebounds. I'm sorry, 10 points, two rebounds, 1 assist. As the Fever fall to the Sparks. The Fever are
So
0
you know
2
what I
as
used
the
to do?
Sparks are 2-0 as he stated.
You know what I used to do? Like when I first came into the military, right? Prior to me first coming into the military, what I used to do when it comes to like I love music, love music, love music. When it comes to music, I'm more of a slow jams, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, old school type.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the before when it came to hip hop, or rap or what you want to say, I was always just West Coast. Like it was not even just West Coast for the simple fact it might if it wasn't from Compton, I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
listening to
You
it
wasn't
really.
rocking with it.
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying. I started late falling in love with like RBL Posse, E40, Spice One, and all that type of stuff because I like bass and
Mm-hmm.
their majority of their music was you know what I'm saying driven with deep bass lines. So I wasn't really paying attention or listening to. If it wasn't from that region, I wasn't paying attention. Of course, when I got into the military, I got introduced. My first roommate in the military, in the barracks, was he was from New York. So
Mm,
I got turned
go
on to the
figure.
Wu Tang. I got turned on to the Wu Tang Clan, and then you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So then I started paying attention.
Hoo-ha!
I stopped listening to just like deep bass lines, and I started paying
Hmm.
attention to lyricism. And so I
Right.
started to recognize that the East Coast rappers happened to be a little more. It was a difference in the rhyme styles between East and West. And so you know what I'm saying. So that was my transition. But I say that for this reason. If it's not the LA Sparks, I don't mess with any other WNBA team.
Oh my God, bro. Ain't
That's
nobody
why
trying
I
to hear
say
what
that.
you talking about. Yeah,
That's why
y'all
I
know,
say
man. Y'all know Trey is very LA based and very LA biased, or California biased, should I say? But we're gonna keep it moving as we keep on going with the WNBA games from this weekend and Friday. Yesterday, also the Aces. Oh, hold on, my bad. The Aces took out the Seattle Storm by
yeah.
score 85-74. The Ace
Yeah.
they defeated the Storm, which was a huge mark for Becky Hammond. Aces took out Las Vegas Aces, who are now 2-0, which, as you can see, under Becky Hammond, who you know used
Hmm.
to be here in San Antonio under Pop, who is this is her inaugural season as the head coach for the Aces. And so AJ Wilson had 20 points, 15 rebounds for the Aces, 2 assists. She was the leading scorer. Then Jackie Young came followed by real close by with 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Erica Hamby had 10 points, 19 rebounds, and 2 assists. Kelsey Plum had 18 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and Chelsea Gray. And we're not talking about that Chelsea. We're talking about the basketball Chelsea. Chelsea Gray had 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists as they defeat the Storm 85-74, where the Storm had only 3 players in double digits, which was Joel Lloyd, who had 19 points, 1 rebound, no assist. Excuse me. And that bad girl, Brianna Stewart, had 21 points, 8 boards, and 2 assists, with Epiphany Prince, 11 points, 1 rebound, no assists. They fall short and they end up going 1-1 as the Aces go 2-0 versus Becky Hammond. I thought we all
Key.
thought that, Keith.
Yeah,
That
I'm
that
pretty
was the
sure
thing. That's what a lot of people were thinking.
Becky probably thought that too. But Pop was like, she probably, man, this dude ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that Becky was about to be the first NBA head coach in NBA history, but unfortunately, that did not take place. In other games in the WNBA, we just talked about the Sparks with the Dream defeated the Wings 66-59. On Saturday, the Sun fell. The Sun fell to Liberty. New York Liberty 81-79. And the Lynx played on Friday. They lost to the Storm 97-74. What did you so what are y'all anticipate, or what is y'all expectations, should I say, of the WNBA season?
So what the expectation, or let me preface it with this. I would like to see there be more of a buy-in to going out and seeing these young ladies play. Like at some point, you're
Okay.
getting close to where they're going to, like currently we have spring ball when you look at the USFL that's playing
Mm-hmm.
uh, in, in, in between the NFL seasons. Um, we're getting close to the end of the basketball season for the NBA. It's to where now you're starting to be muddled down. Not to say anything against the baseball, but you know what I'm saying, it's a select amount of people who care for the baseball. You have the NHL season, they're basically in the playoffs. So what I would like to see, hopefully, is that more basketball enthusiasts go out and check out the women's
Support.
game and go check these,
Yeah.
support these games. Take a look at the game viewership on the channels on the which they play on, and take a look at these games. I would like to do my best to try to catch a game if possible. It's a little harder because their markets are a lot smaller and which aren't necessarily in or around the area. I think the closest one to me is the Dallas Wings up in Dallas. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what I'm saying, but that, you know what I'm saying, go out. That would be the expectations for them to get more of what's been hindering them is the lack of attendance and the lack of viewership. So if that goes
Right.
up, you start to say that is going to be a impact that impacts greatly. So that's what I would hope is that everyone takes a added interest in the women's game as well. And then of course the Brittany Griner, hopefully you expect to get her back
Right.
at some
Yeah,
point,
exactly. Yeah.
even if not to play,
Um.
just to get her back.
Yeah. To answer your question, Key, do you all think the league is ready for a female head coach? And she's referring to the NBA. Are they ready? That's a good question, Key. I don't know. I don't know if they're ready. I want to say they are. However, um, will it happen? I don't know if it'll happen anytime soon. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'll happen anytime soon. I think they're more comfortable with women being maybe assistant coaches compared to being full head coaches for the NBA. I'm not saying this; it's not something that won't happen. Eventually. I just don't know. I just don't foresee when it will happen. But I'm sure it's definitely possible when it comes down to it. The game of basketball is a game of basketball, no matter what gender you are.
Hmm.
It's played the same way. Um, it's just one is a female version and one is a male version. The athleticism in from my perspective, is pretty much the same. Yeah, we know the game has evolved for women. We got female dunkers now that women are dunking in the WNBA. That was far fetched a few back in the past. And then I believe the first female dunker, of course, Trey's probably going hoorah about this, but we all know I think the first female to dunk in a WNBA game.
Lisa Ezzy, two
Yeah,
L's on your back.
yeah. So we know she was the first one to do it in the WNBA game. And since then, we've had quite a few from Brittany Griner to a few others who've had some actual dunks in the NBA game. So the game has definitely evolved. We're looking. I totally agree with Trey in regards to more support, more, and that's why I didn't want to jump over into football because we want to give them recognition. We want to know, especially not only and not just because it was just Mother's Day yesterday, but just because of the fact that you know they're out there trying to make a living playing something that they love to play, the game of basketball. So we definitely don't want to overlook them because they're out there playing the same game these men are playing across the street from them. So it is what it is. They don't have as many teams in the WNBA as they have in the NBA, but I'm sure as time comes, I'm sure that it'll evolve even more, and they'll have more female. Because we do know Trey. I'm gonna bring this to you, Key, and anyone else who's watching. Would you say women's college basketball is a highlight? It pretty much overshadows the WNBA in
At this
regards
point,
to
yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I
at this
I
point.
have to totally agree.
Yeah, but I think that comes from a bevy of reasons. But at this point, I mean, it's easier to view. They have the viewer contracts with the conferences that allows them to get their teams on. Of course, when you're winning, and that's the biggest thing. If you're winning, then that adds to the conversation. You could be a no name, but if you start winning consistently, from some point it starts to build upon whether it's in your local area, and then you start to get national attention. And then once that national attention comes, and you're still doing so, they're more likely to put you on. They want to put you on, and that brings up that conversation. And you're able to do that in college. It's through different packages, or through the ratings, or in through the what your conference is able to negotiate to get the rights for to be viewership rights. So it's definitely a different game when it comes to that part of it, which is more the business aspect when it comes down to the women's game. But of course,
Mm-hmm.
there's always a way. It's a way. Sooner or later, it's going to be a way. I just hope it doesn't become a debacle to where it's folded prior to it becoming that, and then it has to be innovated,
Mm-hmm.
innovativeness for it to come back like the
Like
USFL and the
yeah, I was just
XFL
about to
and
say
all
like
these
the
leagues.
other
Yeah,
these expanded football leagues. Yes, yes, that's what we don't want to happen. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be yeah, transparent. I could probably count how many games I've watched excuse me, WNBA games I've watched since the WNBA has been established. I could probably count how many I've watched. It. I'm gonna do my due diligence to look at more of the WNBA games, give them more, of my time and be able to watch and see who. Because I do, I will not lie, I do like a lot of the women. These, like he said, these girls can ball. These girls can ball when it comes. They have all the fundamentals as the men. The skill set, the handles, the all of that. They can play the game, shoot lights out. Some of these girls can shoot lights out with no question. If you watch any of those women's double NCAA games, I don't know why I'm getting tongue tied this morning. If you watch any of the women's doubles NCAA games, you see these women can shoot the field, and they shoot it well. So it's probably better than some of the guys, as a matter of fact. And I think that's why the NBA has kind of implemented the WNBA players into the All Star game, into the skill challenges and stuff like that to get people more involved and to see people get fans to see that the women are out here doing just as good or as the men are in the game. So I think that was a great thing in which they done of the NBA teaming up with the WNBA to allow people to see both sides of the game, women and men.
So something that before we go into the NFL, something else that just came up, Bishop. By chance, did you get a chance to go check out that movie this weekend?
Which one?
Yeah,
Doctor Strange.
yeah, y'all saw it.
Oh, of
You
course, I did.
was you feel?
I think I told you on Friday. Me and the
You,
wife had already
I
had
was
it
like,
scheduled.
yeah, you feeling
hmm
it? Was you like it?
I did like it. I did like it. It was pretty good. I came from
So
pretty good.
I like to sit up and say I think that was a basic shot. I don't know if this was their angle, but I felt like it was an angle. If not, then I just maybe I pat myself on the back for thinking about this angle. But I think it was kind of ingenious for them to go and take and choose the Mother Day weekend to debut that movie. Because if you think about it, that's all that movie was about is the love of a mother trying to
A future of wanting of,
trying to get to her kids, basically.
but they really weren't her kids though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
still,
well,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? That type of
yeah,
stuff. So I was thinking
yeah.
about that. We sit up there thinking about that. I was like, yo, that was a genius. That was a
It
great, you know
makes
what I'm saying?
sense. Yeah,
Maybe why they
if that
tried to
was
go
the
Mother's
case.
Day. If
Yeah,
that was the
if
case,
that was
true
the
that,
case.
true
Yeah,
that. If
if that
not,
was
you
the
know what I'm
reason why they put it out when they put it
saying?
out. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
yeah.
I was like, oh wow,
But
that's crazy.
there are some definitely. If you haven't had an opportunity, and we know this is a sport, but still, I'm bringing it to you raw. If you haven't had a chance to go check out Doctor Strange, go check it out, man, because they also showed us some previews of some great movies
Oh
that
yeah,
are about to come out here real soon, which had me very excited for the theater for this year. It's
getting
some
back.
movies that a lot of people have been anticipating.
We outside.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice year for movies this year.
So okay, so like we say, getting into the NFL, as y'all know, that's
Mm-hmm.
one of myself and Bishop's more favorite. We talk about these other stuff, but NFL is where it's at, in our
It's our
opinion.
bread and butter.
So first and foremost, of course, correction, Patriots former linebacker Kyle Van Noy has basically was released in March, and he has found a new home. He is now a Los Angeles Charger as he goes over
Oh
to Kyle Van Noy, linebacker.
no! I said,
Oh yeah,
oh, I know who you're talking about.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
he's aging, but you know what I'm saying. At the end of the
right.
day, like we
He still
get rid
got
of these
something in the
aging.
tank.
Yeah, we get rid of these Asian players, and I understand it because Bish is gonna say, but what you say is about Brady. We get rid of these Asian players, and we think they ain't got too much in the tank. In
Yeah.
which I'm not saying that Brady doesn't have anything in the tank. I'm just saying that I believe that there's no reason to expend all that and just go out, or else he's gonna what little he has left is not going to
Mm-hmm.
be effective. He's gonna go try to he's gonna go try to travel from Tampa Bay to Miami, and he gonna burn up a lot of that because he gonna get stuck in traffic. AC's going, and then when he gets to Miami, it's not a good thing, and that's just why I say like he may have some in the tank, but just leave with that. It's okay. You don't have to spend all ammo. Just leave, go turn some of that in, and go back. You know what I'm saying? But of course, like he said, on paper, and at this point, everything we speak about is on paper. On paper, Chargers defense is looking real scary. And what you talk about, as we
Mm-hmm.
always say, defense wins ball games, offense sells tickets.
Sales tickets.
They
That's
got an
right.
offense there too. So I don't know. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So of
Yes,
course we
sir.
have that. You have that. Additionally, interestingly enough, now check this out, Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Ventrell, the former president for the Las Vegas Raiders, was fired. And he states he was fired due to retaliation because he went and spoke to, of course, the owner, Mr. Davis, and told them that and if and voiced his opinion in reference to the quote unquote or alleged um, the alleged hostile work environment in the Las Vegas Raiders organization. Now,
Okay.
keep in mind that Mr. Ventrell was serving as the interim president and had just been moved to the president in 2021. So not even maybe a year, if less. And now he's fired. And he's saying basically because he brung up the concerns with Mr. Davis is why he was fired. So I asked this question, and this is a real talk moment, of course, as we get ready to speak about this. Being newly appointed, is that do you go and address that? I mean, I guess it's a context as well, but do you go and address that type of situation right then and there, as far as preservation for yourself, or do you kind of ease into that and kind of like continue to gather your information, get your proof, and then present and be like, you know what, I think this is a problem we got to do with. Of course, we don't know how he addressed it, but what do you think about that situation?
I don't. I mean, when it's all said and done, we talk about the Las Vegas Raiders, man. It's always been some scrutiny about the Raiders in their front office, and all the way back to Al Davis days. You know what I'm saying? So it's just when it comes to them, they're that team that there's gonna be always gonna be something going on within their organization that's gonna have people raising their eyebrows and wondering what the hell is going on out there in the Raider Nation. Are they even still considered Raider Nation?
Yeah, that's their
Okay.
moniker.
I didn't
Yeah,
know if
right.
they kept that after leaving Oakland or
Yeah.
whatnot. But when it's all said and done, yeah, I mean, it's just something that that they I don't know. When it comes to the Raiders, man, I don't know what to say about them cats, man. When it comes to them guys are
So of course, Mr. Ventures has lowered up. He's lowered up, and he's
lowered up,
basically,
lower years
yeah.
up.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he's lowered up. He said because he felt like it
I
was
would too.
retaliation. He's like, I basically came to you to tell you, let you know about a problem. You fired me. It's like, you know what I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm.
he's lured up at this point and probably gonna go after them for whatever,
Yeah,
they whatever it is. In which
it may
now,
not pan out to be none though.
but then again, I think what's going to happen is it's going to open the door to the NFL going to do the same thing in which they've done with the Washington Commanders, and or like
Mm-hmm.
what the NBA did with the Dallas Mavericks, and now you have to sit up and do an investigation into what the climate is of their organization, to where it may or may not dispel some things, or saying come out that yes, Mr. Davis is going around talking about females behinds, or saying, or saying these type of things, a certain type. So it remains to be seen. But of course,
So y'all, did you hear about this? Well, so I don't know if y'all know, but of course the power rankings of every NFL offense after the 2022 draft has been leaked out, and here are who they have ranked after, of course, the draft that was last month. At 32, they have the Houston Texans. Their 2021 rank, they was 32nd in total yards, 30th in scored. Offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton. At 31, is the New York Giants. Um, they were 31st last year in total yards, and they were 31st in scoring. Offensive coordinator Mike Kafka. And at 30, the Atlanta Falcons. Last year they were ranked 29th in total yards, 26th in scoring. Offensive coordinator Dave Ragon. At 29, Carolina Panthers. 2021 ranking, they were 30 in total yards, 29th in scoring. Offensive coordinator Ben McAdoo. At 28, Chicago Bears. 2021 ranking, 24th in total yards, 27th in scoring. Offensive coordinator Luke Getsy. At 27, Seattle Seahawks. They were 20th in total yards and 16th in scoring in 2021. Offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. At 26, the Detroit Lions. 22nd in total yards, 25th in scoring. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. 25. And this, I'm saying this, I want all y'all to know, because for all y'all talking about y'all high power offense, this is where they got these guys ranked already after the 22-2 draft. The Washington Commanders, where you at? Where you at? Commanders, Washington Commanders. They're ranked 25th, and they were 21st in total yards, 23rd in scoring. They were tied for 23rd in scoring. Offensive coordinator Scott Turner. 24th, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were 27th in total yards, 32. They were the last in scoring last year. Offensive coordinator Chris Taylor. 23. Where Leo at? New Orleans Saints. 28th in total yards, 19th in scoring. Offensive coordinator Pete Carmichael. The New York Jets. Y'all believe it or not, the New York Jets, they're 22. After the 22 draft, they're 22. They were 26th in total yards last year, 28th in scoring. Mike LaFleur is the offensive coordinator. At number 21, this is your team. Not your team, Trey, but the team which you're highly thinking that they're going to do something. The Miami Dolphins. 25th in total yards last year, 22nd in scoring. Frank Smith is the offensive coordinator. At number 20, go ahead. I'm listening. What?
No, I can get it. Like I said, again, everyone keep preface. This is all on paper. And,
yeah, this is preseason.
But that's still pretty good. That's pretty good. Like that's upper.
That's pretty good. 21 out of 32 teams
compared to where
and
they were
ranked
last
21.
year. Compared to where they were last year.
They were 25th. They only moved up 4.
That's good compared to where they were last year. Yeah.
Okay. New England Patriots at 20. They were 15th. They dropped.
Exactly. See, I'll get that.
They dropped 15th in total yards. 5th. The Patriots was 5th in scoring last year. Bill Belichick, head coach, is the offensive coordinator. The Pittsburgh Steelers, where you at, Scott Leroy? Pittsburgh Steelers are at 19. They were 23rd in total yards, 21st in scoring. Matt Canada is the offensive coordinator. Baltimore Ravens, where you Ravens fans? They're 18th. They were 6th in total yards. They dropped from 6th to 18th, and they were 17th in scoring. Greg Roman is the offensive coordinator. For you Tennessee Titans fans, Tennessee Titans are 17th. 17th, they stayed where they were. 17th in total yards, 15th in scoring. Todd Downing is the offensive coordinator.
I just want to let y'all know that Bishop is probably a motive in this as well.
I'm just saying.
There's a motive. I know there's a motive to it. But
we're already at 16. We're already at 16. I'm just saying we're already at 16. Cleveland Browns. They were 18th. They dropped to 60. They went down. They moved up, should I say, 18th in total yards, 20th in scoring. Alex Van Pelt is the offensive coordinator. Oh, Trey, your San Francisco 49ers are 15th. 7th, they were 7th in total yards last year. 13th in scoring. Kyle Shanahan, head coach, offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Arizona Cardinals, 14th. 8th in total yards, 11th in scoring. Cliff Kingsbury, head coach and offensive coordinator. 13, Minnesota Vikings. They were 12th in total yards, 14th in scoring. Wes Phillips, offensive coordinator. Indianapolis Colts, former, that was old Carson Wentz former team. 16th in total yards, 9th in scoring. Marcus Brady, offensive coordinator. The Philadelphia Eagles, just barely outside of the top 10. They're number 11. 14th in total yards, 12th in scoring. Of course, Shane Steichen is the offensive coordinator. And then the Dallas Cowboys, they bust the top 10. At number 10, first in total yards in 2021, first in scoring. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. Ooh, where is Applewhite? Ooh, you would love to hear that. Green Bay Packers. Number 9, 10th in total score, 10th in total yards, 10th in scoring, Adam Stenavich, offensive seed. LA Rams, 8th, 9th in total yards, 7th in scoring, tied. Liam Cohen, offensive coordinator. 7th, Denver Broncos, 19th in total yards, 23rd in scoring, tied. Justin Otten, offensive coordinator. Las Vegas Raiders
Mm-hmm.
at number 6. 11th in total yards, 18th in scoring, Mick Lombardi, offensive coordinator. And to round off your top 5 are the Los Angeles Chargers, who we just spoke about. Van Noy, who just entered that team. They were 20. They were 4th in total yards in 2021, 5th in scoring. Joe Lombardi, offensive coordinator. 4th, Cincinnati Bengals, 13th in total yards, 7th in scoring time with Brian Callahan as the offensive coordinator. The top 3, Kansas City Chiefs. They were 3rd in total yards, 4th in scoring. Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator. Tampa Bay Bucks. With that old man that Trey likes to talk about, the GOAT, the GOAT Tom Brady, second. Second. And they were second last year in total yards. Second last year in scoring. Brian Leftwich, offensive coordinator. What does that tell you, everyone? Y'all don't worry, I'll wait. And last but not least, with the number 1
Buffalo Bills.
offensive Buffalo Bills. 5th in total yards last year, 3rd in scoring, Ken Dorsey. So, what are your thoughts about the 32 teams and their offensive ranking for the 2022 season that is about to be upon us? Are you satisfied with the to where you are, Trey, in regards to the 49ers? Are you happy with that placement? Because I'm happy at 11. I'm
I,
happy with the Philadelphia
San
Eagles.
Francisco could have been last, and I would have been fine with it because it's all on paper at this point. In which we
Mm,
once we start all the teams start playing, then it kind of starts to its things start to shift and go different ways. Of course, at
mm,
this point, one of the things I got to take into consideration on paper is that Trey Lance, who has been said to be underwhelming, is supposed to
mm-hmm,
start. Although that doesn't mean that he's not going to be a problem when it comes to, or a good problem when it comes to the offense, but it still remains to be seen. We still have Jimmy Garoppolo that is still in our organization, in which the 49ers don't have to trade them. They don't have to start Trey Lance. They always can go back to Jimmy, who has proven to be a, a success for them when he is playing. So it still remains to be seen. So we're not last. We're middle of the pack, above middle of the pack, actually, with the top 15, as he said. But it's all on paper, and at this point, it's conversation material.
I will say this though, Trey. They have, I forget who it was, but they have Trey Lance as being the, what is it, the breakout, one of the
Breakout player.
breakout players of 2022, the 2022-2023 season. In other words, kind of what they would call a sleeper. Yes, they do. They said it this morning that Trey Lance, don't be. A lot of people are sleeping on Trey Lance, so he could possibly have a breakout season. But I don't know how that is possible if they don't. You still have Garoppolo. Like, are y'all really gonna play? Are y'all really gonna start Trey over Jimmy?
Possibly. I mean, it's possible. Garoppolo, like you said, he is coming off the soldier surgery, in which everyone says that was a calculated in pettiness to the 49ers, basically like, oh,
Not a pettiness.
y'all gonna try to trade me? I got something for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because they said it's like trade talk was booming before he said he was gonna get a injury repaired, and he goes through the surgery, and then also they come to a screeching halt, and no one's checking for Jimmy Garoppolo at that time frame. So now, but I think it's a blessing in disguise for the most part when you look at now. If Trey Lance isn't doing well, you have your former backup as your former starter as your backup to where he can come in hopefully and turn things around if they're going that wrong and continue to do that as such. Next year he'll be a free agent, and then we'll have opportunity to hopefully Trey Lance gets the opportunity to kind of like continue to build and grow and come back the next year if need be and be effective. So what do you think about y'all's ranking at the end of the day?
At 11, I'm totally all for that. I totally feel like that was deserving. Um, I was
You
hoping
would.
that we broke the top 10, um, but we didn't. But and I'm cool with it. I mean, I'm cool that we're right outside of the top 10. But again, like you said, a lot of it, it's paper. These are things in which they're going off what they have acquired after the draft. So we don't know how things are panning out. We all know when it comes down to OTAs and all of that. Injuries happen. God forbid an injury happens for us, and that will make us fall back further. But yeah, I totally agree with you. It's premature. It's early. We don't know. Waiting for OTAs, waiting for preseason, waiting for the season to start. We'll see. We'll
So
definitely see.
one thing that I take in consideration, like we heard you talk about Seattle. You said Seattle was number 22. I mean 30. What you say? Seattle's rank
Let me see.
was on
Seattle
paper.
was what was Seattle? Hold on. Let me go back to it. Seattle was it was up there. They won. It was like 30 something. Oh, not what I want to say 30 or 28, something like that. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Which right it
28.
is.
So
Yeah, I
do
want to
you
say it was
think
20.
some of that could be? Do you think that some of that could be based upon the fact of Seattle didn't draft or aren't planning on bringing in another quarterback at this time, as they uh, seemingly believe in even Drew Lock or Geno Smith to run their offense?
Mm.
They have
So they
you
were 27. They were 27.
okay, 27.
Seattle was 27.
They even went
Yeah.
as far as before you answer that. They even went as far as to not draft Jamal Willis and stated that they did not draft him because they felt like he's not NFL ready.
So with Seattle, it's kind of excuse me. With Seattle, it's a mystery, man, because Seattle is a team in which Baker thought he was gonna go to
And that's
once
why, yeah, they say
once
they're not trading. Yeah, they say they're
right.
not trading for a quarterback.
Yeah, Pete Carroll said, yeah, Pete wasn't looking to get Baker. He stated a few times that that wasn't something that he was looking to get. Was Baker Mayfield coming to Seattle once Russell left? So Seattle's a mystery, man. I don't know. I don't know what Seattle's plan is. What Pete Carroll has as his or Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know what their expectations are or what their plans are for Seattle because, um, yeah, I don't know, man. It makes you wonder. Maybe they think it. I don't know. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think they're going to go through the season. I think, of course, I would foresee that they're probably going to go through the season, uh, betting or banking on that someone's going to release a quarterback that they could probably pick up later on, or
Mm-hmm.
always or hold firm and just see what they have in Drew Lock and Geno
Yeah.
Smith and continue to look and see what they can get off the market or off waiver wires or anything as teams have to start cutting and bring them into the organization and utilize them in that way. I just don't foresee that they're just completely betting their future on Locke and Smith at this point. Um,
Mm.
Now to say that Willis wasn't a NFL ready quarterback, I would wonder did they think the same about Russell Wilson
At the
when he
time
was
when he came out
selected. Like he was, of course, we
out
didn't
of
expect.
Stanford, did he come out of Stanford?
No, Wilson came out of North Carolina State.
No, Carolina State. Okay.
He was at Louisville. He transferred to North Carolina State. Oh, correction. He was it North Carolina State or Wisconsin? He came out of one of those, either North
It
Carolina
might
or
have been Wisconsin.
I
I
think it
think
was
it might have
Wisconsin.
been
Yeah,
Wisconsin. Yeah, it might have been Wisconsin. Yeah.
he was in I think he was in Louisville or one of those lower
He was a
tier
trend.
schools. He transferred to go play baseball, I mean, he couldn't
Right.
play baseball. He couldn't play. He wouldn't. He started playing baseball, and he wanted to. He got the feel to go back and play football again, but they wouldn't. They didn't want him, and so as opposed to him stay there, he transferred
I thought he
to.
had a contract with baseball at first.
Well, he
I
probably
thought
did.
he almost did something. I thought he almost did something like Kyler.
Yeah, but he stopped playing back. He stopped playing football to pursue baseball, and he
Right.
decided.
Right.
Yeah, he decided I want to play baseball. I mean, he decided I
Right.
wanted to play football, and so he left football to go. He left baseball, but
He played football.
the school that he was at, wouldn't allow him to go back because they were they already went on. They moved on from him, and so
Right.
he transferred to Wisconsin to I think it was Wisconsin or wherever I think it was Wisconsin. He transferred there, and that was it for him, and that's how he got back in the NFL. Got back to where he was being looked at the NFL. So
Okay.
of course that but I mean, like we was just saying, was Russell Wilson in NFL ready, or did they deem him as an NFL ready quarterback, which they may have due to the fact of they drafted him at some point and he was able to overcome his draft stock or he was drafted at to become the number one, the starter, and then of course over the course of the year win a couple of NFC championships, the
Absolutely.
NFC appearances, a Super Bowl, and and uh and going from there. And now he's in Denver with the expectations of doing some of the certain things. So it remains to be seen. I guess we'll see. But I wonder why they would. Is it Jamal Willis that much of a that far down the road to where he
Well,
wasn't?
it's not surprising though, Trey, because a lot of the analysts and those that were predicting who these NFL draftees were going said that Willis was probably wasn't NFL ready. That he was a transfer. He wasn't Liberty wasn't the school. He started with he started out in Ohio State and then transferred over to Liberty. And again, and I think we mentioned before we're talking about you're coming from a school, a University of Liberty, who's not a powerhouse school or D1 school to be you know uh, comparing him to other players who are in the D1 playing that position. So you almost feel as though these quarterbacks aren't ready for the NFL
I
quite
wonder
yet,
what
and they need some tutoring.
I wonder what schools were in or were looking take a look at him in a transfer portal when he transferred because if
You know what?
he
I
came
wonder
from
that too.
Ohio
If you go
State,
Ohio
you got to think
State,
about
then
that.
how
He
you
came
end
from
up
Ohio
at
State.
Liberty? Yeah, how you go from Ohio State to Liberty? Like that,
So
that right there, and I mean that brings up a great question, Trey, because I think I'm looking at that too. Like you go from a powerhouse school, D1, to go to a Liberty, of all places you could have gone, like you were at the Ohio State, as they like to call it, the Ohio State. Like you could have
I mean,
went to Michigan.
I'm very sure
I
he
mean,
could
a
have
lot
went
of
to.
them.
I'm very sure he could have went to Oklahoma and made some
No,
moves.
no, we was good with we was good with we was straight. He probably could have went to USC for sure. He probably could have definitely went to USC and definitely could have went out there. Yeah, that's for sure. But in Oklahoma, we were good where we were. I'm just saying, we were straight where we were. But I'm just saying, it does raise eyebrows, though, Trey, in regards to like, how do you go from Ohio State, the Ohio State, to Liberty? Is Liberty a JUCO? Liberty ain't a JUCO, is it? That ain't a JUCO.
No,
No, it can't,
it's a
no,
top
it can't be a
it's
JUCO.
a school.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's not a JUCO.
Yeah, so it's so I don't know that normally it would be the opposite. Normally you would leave Liberty and go to an Ohio
Well,
State or
not Ohio.
Michigan.
He was at Auburn, not Ohio State. He was at
Oh,
Auburn.
Auburn, okay, Auburn. Oh,
Okay.
it's still the same thing. I mean, yeah, Auburn, what they SEC, ACC.
Okay,
Alabama.
he transferred in 2019.
Right,
Who did y'all have in 2019? Y'all had just got
Kyler
Rattler.
Murray.
Was it?
We
But
still got. We had just Rattler
Rattler was the
was in the
backup.
yeah he was in the backup yeah
Oh, he was in the backup. Rattler was expected to come in to take over for Kyle Murray. He was
right
the freshman, incoming freshman.
right right yeah we was good we was straight. I mean even though Rattler's gone now I mean yeah But I'm saying it's backwards. It should have been him leaving Liberty going to Auburn, not the other way around. But it is what it is.
Supposedly he
I mean,
only
he can
had
and he could come in and shock the he could come in and shock the world and shock the whole
if he
league.
gets if he gets opportunity.
Well, we know he's going to get the opportunity during OTAs and definitely during preseason.
Yeah.
He's going to get
Okay.
a
Yeah.
couple of snaps. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get a couple of looks because he's competing against what's his name,
Tannehill.
Ryan. Yeah. And then when you got a running back in Derek Henry, it only makes you even look better. In my opinion, if I'm him as a quarterback, I'm checking down to him every chance I get. Make my stats look good because they lost AJ.
But you're gonna
Lost
get
their
to
key
that
receiver
in
number
a few
one.
seconds. So, question this: I asked this question, Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, why is it? And let me know what would be your take on this. Why is it out of the 32 first round draft picks, only 5 of those 32 draft picks have signed? And then keep in mind that 4 of those draft picks are on the same team. Correction, are on two sets of those draft picks are on the same team. Being 2 of them signed with Kansas City, 2 of them signed with Green Bay, and the only other one who has signed is the New York Jets first round pick, uh, uh, Sauce Gardner. At this late in the juncture, what we 2 or 3 weeks removed from the draft, why is it that they haven't signed yet? Would you
That's every
would you
that's
outright
every
jumped
year.
at it?
That's every year. If you haven't noticed, I've noticed that that's been the trend. That's been a trend. And I don't. To be honest, I would love to be
I
in
was
an
gonna say, would you
organization
would
to
you be waiting?
find out why they do that. But that's been a trend. You wonder why a lot of these guys are not going to sign for a while, and you wonder why. Like, it's not like they're doing anything as of yet. I don't know if it's some red tape that's being applied, or if there's some things that they're working out in regards to their contract before they sign him. But that is definitely a trend that you'll see a lot of times. A lot of first rounders, they don't sign immediately. They don't.
If you were
For some
Bishop,
reason,
if you were a
they
first
sign
rounder,
later on.
if you were a first rounder, are you signed? Because just think about it. A couple weeks ago, we read off and talked about what Trayvon Walker was going, what his contract would look like, which is set in stone for all of them. Basically, their contract is set in stone. I'm very sure there's some
Right,
language. So is
right.
in that case, if you were a first rounder, you already know your money's already set in stone, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be waiting? Would we be 3 weeks removed from the draft, and it's still everyone start to see that you haven't signed your contract yet?
I would hope not, but again, I feel like I said, I would hope not. But like I said, I feel like it's some red tape. I feel like it's probably some contract issue in
Hmm.
regards to
Some languages and
what the
stuff in there. Yeah.
yeah, what the players expecting, trying to read the fine print. You know what I'm saying? Ensuring that this is what it said it is, and lawyers are involved in ensuring that their player and their agents are involved in ensuring that their players getting the max of what they were being drafted for. So I'm assuming it's just a lot of like I said, red tape and making sure that all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted before the pen hits paper.
So yesterday, as we get closer, as we all know, Thursday at 8 p.m. Correction, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, the NFL will be releasing the full slate of the schedule for the NFL, in which, of course, we'll be covering and talking about on our Friday morning show. But they have been releasing little tidbits here and there, as we
They
already
released
know.
yeah, because I've seen
Yeah,
who's on our schedule. We just haven't seen
yeah,
when we play them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
we see
So
when we play
everyone know, for the most part, everyone knows who they play on their schedule, or just don't know whether home or away. Just don't know
them.
what
Right,
date. We already
right.
know who's playing in the international games. We already
Mm-hmm.
know we know who there's it's been talked about if there's going to be if the Rams are going to be playing in the inaugural game of or
Mm-hmm.
the kickoff game. We already know who the first Thursday night game is going to be. So yesterday, what came out is who the first doubleheader will be. As of course, the doubleheader will be the Tennessee Titans will be taking on the Buffalo Bills, and then the second game, Bishop, the Philadelphia
This is
Eagles
the
will be versus the Minnesota Vikings.
let's
Uh,
go. Let's go. Is
on
it this is the first you saying the
the
first
first
double
Mon-
hitter or the
the
first?
first Monday night doubleheader, the first Monday night game.
Woo, let's go.
So we already know that you won't be seeing your squad until Monday night, in which you get
I
to
don't care.
see
That's cool. That's
you
prime time, baby. That means
you get to
everybody
see
else out the way.
you get to
Everybody
see
else out the way.
Minnesota knock off Philadelphia
That
for the
ain't gonna
first
happen.
game.
Boy, you
Minnesota
almost got
starts
cussed out on this show. You almost got cussed out.
Philadelphia starts out 0-1, and Buffalo start out 1 and
That ain't
0
gonna happen.
no
No.
Monday night
You said
football.
Minnesota. You said we play Minnesota.
Yeah, and Buffalo plays Tennessee.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, so it's
Ooh,
those are
that's
the
gonna
two
be a good one.
games.
That's gonna the Tennessee and Buffalo is gonna be a good one. Not the Minnesota and the Eagles. We know we got that game bad. We talking about the Tennessee and Buffalo game. That game's gonna be good.
I'm saying
Matter
it.
of fact,
Y'all hear it
y'all
right
make
here, right
sure.
now.
Yeah, y'all make sure.
Dalvin Cook goes for 122 yards versus
Ooh, you out
Philadelphia.
your mind. You out your hey
Minnesota
y'all.
Minnesota
Whoever's still
wins
on, and whoever's
24
watching,
to
y'all
6.
remember this. That's two things in which Trey has said. He talked about the 76ers. If they make it out of this round, they're gonna win the whole thing. And two, he just said Dalvin Cook gonna rush for over 120 some yards first game versus my beloved Philadelphia Eagles here on May the 9th at 10:55. Ooh, the other thing was at 9:55. Just look at that. It was at 9:55. This one's at 10:55. Boy, you know he is in trouble. He is in trouble. That is not gonna happen. Just know also y'all be sure for all our followers, all the people that tune in, the fans of First Formation,
All our high
we will
speeds.
all our high speeds. There you go. Thank you, Trey. We will have a First Formation fantasy football league. So be sure to stick around. If you're into fantasy football, be sure to tune in. It's gonna be a blast. We go to hey, if you soft hearted, you wear your heart on your shoulders. Don't come up. Don't be a part of this league because we're gonna talk about you coming come Monday. Don't be a part of this league. Don't be a part of this league. Oh, hey, you're gonna be butthurt. I'm just telling you now, you're gonna be butthurt. I'm giving you forewarning now. Forewarning now. First formation, first ever fantasy football league, fantasy football season. We're gonna have our first league coming up to 2022-23 season. Stay tuned.
Yes, 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 of course. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So far as we get closer to our time, so we can make sure we get this in there. A couple more things. Bishop, we've already gave our rankings for the AFC and NFC East, the
Mm-hmm.
AFC and NFC South. Today,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk about the AFC and NFC
North.
North, in which we think as we get closer and closer to where we're going to rank the teams. Currently, as we say on paper, as you get closer. So, of course, the AFC North last year finished with the Cincinnati Bengals at the 10-7, the Pittsburgh Steelers 9-7, the Cleveland Browns 8-9, and the Baltimore Ravens 8-9. That wasn't a bad. That wasn't a bad league. I
That was a
mean,
good
division.
division. That was a good ass division.
That's
I ain't
not
gonna front.
bad.
Yeah, that was a good division. I ain't gonna front.
The only person, the Ravens had trouble in the division. They end up going 1-5 in the division. Browns 500, and then of course Bengals and Seattle split it 4-2. Uh, so Bishop, I ask you, how do you rank the AFC North coming into this year?
Ooh, bro. That's a hard one right there. Cause that Joker could flip any type of way. Any type of way, bro. Like
When I look at
Jesus.
I think, whoa, oh yeah, that is a hard one because
That that's a hard. That's
it's
probably one of the hardest of them all.
because I was about to sit up and just rattle out something that I looked. I was like,
No, you
wait,
can't
hold up.
rattle out nothing with
I
that.
was like, hold
You
up, because
cannot.
You got you to enter Deshaun and Amari in Cleveland. You can't hold out Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. The
You can't.
Steelers, you got to keep in mind the winning culture in Pittsburgh for the most part, and with Tomlin, he's still out the helm. The only one I think is going to take a fall. I don't know how far is going to be Cincinnati. I think it's going to be an
I don't think
overhead.
they go. You how? They
I think
just
it's going
won
to
the
be
Super Bowl. I mean, they was just in the Super Bowl. How do you not put
that
them?
exact reason. That exact reason. I think it's going to be a little bit
But
a
they got the
hangover from
same
that.
team.
It's
They
going to be
got
a
the
hangover
same
from it. I foresee a hangover
team.
from it. To try to meet those same
Mm.
expectations, it's going to be a little more. And you got it's say it's probably a little more going on a little more of talent now in the division. I think that if at minimum the Cincinnati Bengals, I don't foresee it right now. Oh man, I
Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard. It's
so okay.
very, very hard.
I say this. I will say this.
All right, I'm listening.
I don't think the Steelers don't get their winning season, but however, I think it's going to be the minimum, which will put them at 9-8. So with a nine and
Go.
eight,
So what was the final? What was the final records for the four teams
so
again? What was
Bengals were 10-7,
right?
Steelers were 9-7-1, the
Okay.
Browns were 89, and the Ravens were 89. However, the Browns were 3-3 in division. The Steelers were 4-2 division. The Bengals were 4-2 division. The Ravens were 1-5.
And then the Ravens just lost
Yeah, they
to
lost
them,
Hollywood. Hmm.
Hollywood Brown. But I still, you know what? I feel like the Ravens are going to bounce back. So I feel like the Ravens and the Browns are going. Oh, but no, but then God dang it, you got Deshaun just coming back.
So
You
that's what
got
I'm saying.
God,
Exactly. So
dog.
that's why I say the Steelers. I think the Steelers keep their season. I'm gonna keep
But the
their streak.
Steelers, the problem with the Steelers though, Trey, is their quarterback situation.
Yeah,
You
Trubisky.
don't know
So,
what
but
their quarterback situation is
and
about.
that's why I'm willing to say I think they can get the Aiden. I think they can get the
I
bare
think they
minimum of a
fall.
winning season, but they
I
fall. They do.
think they
I think
fall.
at minimum they
I
fall
think they fall.
with
Because
a nine
this will
and
be
eight.
their first season without Ben. After how
Yeah.
many seasons they've had Ben, this will be their first season without Ben.
So
I
with a
think they
9-8,
fall.
with a nine, I agree with a 9-8 record. I think they can get. And still, we don't know. We won't know till Thursday, where we can kind of take a look at how their schedule goes.
Mm-hmm.
Just off a
Mm-hmm.
possibility, I think they can go 9-8 to give them the opportunity to keep the streak alive with their winning seasons. But they definitely fall to even a 3, to like a at minimum a 3,
And yeah,
which
who comes in at
means
second?
well, it even means who comes last if that's the case with a 9-8.
So who
Like
you
who
got at
comes.
first?
My first is even.
Well, it can't be Cincinnati
I,
because you already said you think they're
yeah,
gonna fall.
it's not going to be
So
Cincinnati.
it's
It
got to
has to.
be Cleveland or
It's either
Baltimore.
Cleveland. It's even Cleveland or Baltimore.
Right.
And so I would go on. I would say Cleveland number one. I say Cleveland
Ooh,
number
okay.
one.
Okay.
I
So
say
that means
Cleveland
you
number one.
automatically putting Baltimore at number two then. Or are you
Baltimore
putting
would be number
Cincinnati
two.
over?
Yeah,
Okay.
Baltimore would be number two. You know what? I think the Steelers would have to go even further down. I don't think
At
Baltimore.
number
I don't think.
four?
I don't. Yeah, I don't think. I don't think Cincinnati does. But you know what? I stand corrected. I'll keep Steelers at the 3 and Baltimore to the 4, and Bengals to a 4, but only as a slight from a
Ooh.
slight. Still getting 8 wins.
Ooh.
I still see Bengals getting 8 wins, but being 4. So I'm going to go on here and say Browns at 1, Baltimore at
Ravens.
2,
Okay.
Steelers at
Steelers.
3, and some Bengals
Bengals at four.
with a hangover, with a Super Bowl hangover at 4,
Mm-hmm.
but with like a 8 win season.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Bengals one because
Hmm.
I believe in that dude Joe Burrow. Him and old boy are that tandem is not going on anywhere. So I'm sticking with the Bengals at one. I'm taking Cleveland to bounce up to number two with Deshaun now. I'm taking the Cleveland at number two. I'm taking Baltimore at three. But Baltimore and Cleveland gonna be right there neck and neck. So them two could flop anywhere to within the season. I think them two, Baltimore and Cleveland. And then because of Pittsburgh has not had a new quarterback behind the center in years, I'm dropping them to number four. I put the Steelers at four. So yeah, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Steelers.
Hmm. And then, of course,
My
going
bad.
over to the NFC North, of course, we have last year's number one seeded Green Bay Packers, 13-4, the Vikings, 8-9, the Chicago Bears, 6-11, and the Detroit Lions, 3-13.
Oh,
So, of
that's
course,
stay
the
where it's
Packers.
at.
You think so?
That's stay. Yeah, that's not good. That's not.
I think
Yeah.
this is what I. Nah.
Who is going out of them three? Nobody's jumping the Packers. Out of them three.
The Vikings. I think the Vikings have a chance to jump.
No, there's
Not
no way
based,
you believe
not
in
based
Ryan
on
Fitzpatrick.
not Fitzpatrick. It's what's his name? It's Kirk Cousins. Kirk
Kirk
Cousins.
Cousins, I
But
mean. Kirk Cousins. I
yeah,
mean Kirk Cousins. I'm saying
It's
Ryan
Kirk.
Fitzpatrick, but I mean Kirk. It's Kirk Cousins. I mean Kirk. You
It's
believe
Kirk
in Kirk
Cousins.
Cousins over Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Really?
So it's not over
Come
Aaron
on.
Rodgers. It's
What
so
up?
I
What
don't.
up, LB?
What's going on, MEB? So I don't think that it's not that I believe in Kirk Cousins. It's what I
You
believe
have
is
to if you putting
I
them
believe in
over the Green
I
Bay.
I believe more in Kirk and the Minnesota offense around Kirk Cousins than I believe in the Green Bay's
But Kirk
offense
is
around.
he's the facilitator though of the offense.
I get that, and so what I'm saying is I think that they have more. I think he can do more with what he has than what Aaron Rodgers can do with what he has. So remember, we had the conversation about what a mediocre quarterback with a high speed offense as opposed to a high speed off a high a top tier quarterback with a mediocre offense. I think that's what we're looking at now. So of course in Minnesota you have Jefferson, you have Thean, you have Dalvin Cook
Mm-hmm.
in that offense. In Green Bay, you have Aaron Rodgers. So and then we got to look at the person in Aaron Rodgers as well. Is Aaron how
So
effective is
we
Aaron
ain't gonna
Rodgers
act
going to
like
be?
whatchamacallit ain't nobody out there.
Who? Randall
What's his
Cobb?
name? Cobb? Yes. Don't act like he's
He is.
nobody out there.
He's not
He's not a
enough.
slouch, bro.
They
He's
got
not a
Jones.
slouch.
They got
So
Jones. That's about the
okay, hold
best
on,
thing they
hold.
got.
So you said hold on, but you saying Dalvin Cook is enough in Minnesota, but you're not gonna include it, you're not gonna count Randall Cobb out in
No,
Green Bay?
no. The only thing Green
You're
Bay, in
talking
my
about a
opinion,
running back versus a wide receiver.
the only thing that Green
Come
Bay
on, bro.
has is a running back outside Aaron Rodgers. That's it, and because they got Ahmad, I mean they have Jones. So
And they got Cobb.
they
Oh,
got
Cobb
Aaron
is finna
Jones.
shock you. Cobb is
Cobb
finna
is
shock
done.
you.
I think
Cobb,
Cobb
okay.
is done.
Y'all
Cobb
remember
was
that
brought
too.
there to be a stopgap, or he was brought there to
Y'all
be a
remember that too.
to
Y'all
assist.
remember that too.
So
Y'all
Cobb is
remember that.
done.
Y'all remember that. Remember he
So
said that.
yeah, that's why I'm going. I'm going with the Vikings. I'm going with Vikings, Packers, Lions, and Bears.
I'm going Packers, Vikings. You went Lions then Bears? You got
Lions
the
and
Bears
Bears.
jumping you got the Lions jumping the Bears? No,
Yeah,
I'm saying Bears Lions. Because I think this is gonna be a breakout season for um
I think Fields needs another season.
yeah, I think Justin Fields is gonna break out. No, I don't think he needs another season. Him and Jalen Hurts finna show y'all something this season. I'm here to tell y'all. Him and Jalen finna show y'all something. Y'all sleeping on these boys. Y'all remember that too. I said it here first. Jalen and Justin. Jay and Justin. Jalen and Justin finna show y'all something. I'm telling y'all. Justin, he had a hard season his first season. He finna show y'all. He's coming back with vengeance. I'm telling y'all. Watch Justin come out here and show out.
Might as well throw Kyler in there too while you're at it.
Oh, we already know what Kyler's going to do. Kyler's going to he now has his former teammate, his best friend over there in Arizona. Really? Oh my God! It's yeah. We don't have to speak what is already known. Them boys
So
is about to be a tandem. That's the next Burrow and uh what's the boy name out there in Cincinnati?
Exactly why
That's
you exactly why it doesn't make a difference because you don't even remember. So
yeah.
that's
You
exactly
know,
why it doesn't even make
don't
a
worry.
difference.
You know, it's come. It'll come to me.
You talk about
Chase,
Chase and
Jamar Chase. Don't worry about it. I figured out. I got it. That's
yeah.
what him and Jamar. No, I told you it'll come to
That's
me.
exactly
Him and
what's gonna
Jamar.
happen. By the time they figure it out in Arizona,
No,
it's gonna
it
be
didn't
too
take that
late.
long. It didn't take that long. It
That's
didn't take that
exactly
long.
what's gonna happen. So of course that is our time for today. We appreciate y'all highs, please rocking with us today,
For sure, for
being on
sure.
time, the formation, being the formation with us. Of course, as the days go on, we'll be able to talk about more. Uh, we're gonna see if we can get a couple more guest speakers on, even one to talk about the NBA, talk about the WFA. May have a conversation about some officiating stuff going on. Maybe the FF WCT. Is no telling what, but of course you'll be one of the first ones to know before y'all pull up the formation, so y'all kind of know what's going on in formation. Greatly appreciate y'all watching this. Y'all know what the catch is every Monday through Friday, 09 to 1100 or 09 a.m. to 11 a.m. Every morning, Mondays and Fridays, right here, First Formation. If you get a chance, check out other E2G programming. Check out the E2G website where you can get some interesting articles in reference to blogs. Uh, it's a whole E2G ears to the ground. Uh, Out of the New England area. So when we really talk about these New England teams, I'd be wondering what their perspective in it. Maybe one day we gotta have someone on for one of those programs to talk some New England talk, so we can get a inter perspective look at what they think their team is. Because as I was looking today, Bishop, they don't expect. It was expected that it's a fact that it was an expected fact that New England does not get back
Thanks,
to the
it's
playoffs this
KFC.
year. Appreciate you, Frat. So, of course, you know what I'm saying? We greatly appreciate y'all. Bishop, any last words before we get up out of here?
Man, y'all have a great Monday. Enjoy it. It is Monday. Nothing lasts forever. So Monday's almost over. We're halfway through Monday almost. So enjoy the rest of your Monday. Have a great evening. We appreciate you. We thank y'all. We'll see y'all on tomorrow. Y'all have a great one.
Yeah. At this point, show, fall out. Enjoy the rest of y'all morning.
Sorrow 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated. Y'all have a good one. Peace.